All right, so today's topic, Doja Cat. If you aren't aware, Doja Cat's an artist. She does R&B. I don't know what she does. Every time I listen to her records,
she does pop. It's not R&B.
She does weird music, period. Okay? She's a weird person.
I'll accept that.
And recently she was on, I think it's Tiny Chat, which is similar to Omegle, except you don't have the consent to just leave whenever you want. She goes on and she starts doing, it was super weird. I can't even explain it.
Let's go to the inn.
It's only two.
Yes, Daddy.
Oh,
yeah.
Her shirt reminds me of a baby duck. Her shirt is like a...
Oh my god.
So, Doja, from the research I did, she's pretty young, and a lot of her discussions, a lot of her stuff is basically her talking about her poom poom and what she likes to do and how she likes to get and all this stuff. So when I saw this, the first time I saw it, to me, I instantly recognized it as race play. If you're not familiar with race play, it's a form of domination. It's like a kink that some people have, where they love to use racial slurs, have racial slurs used on themselves, and it turns them on. I actually remember watching a prawn video a long time ago, and as the thing was going, I was enjoying. I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to bust these guts." The white girl just starts dropping N-bombs, and the guy gets just like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and I was like, "Wait, what's happening?" And I remember being so disgusted because I maintained my erection, right?
Yeah,
so I was like, "Am I problematic too?"
You know what the funny thing is?
What?
You know when people talk about when they talk about and stuff like that,
Right?
And there's part of it that's domination where they whip people.
Yeah.
I will never
Yeah.
have someone whip me,
Especially not a white girl.
especially not a white girl.
But you don't want to play the little slave master fantasy?
No, if I play the fantasy, I'm the slave master.
Yeah. Reparations.
That's you know what I mean.
You want
If
some
I'm
white stuff on your white face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
isn't it funny that white people were so good at whip, but they didn't know how to do the whip dance?
get the fuck out of here. Take all your shit. I know it's your room. Take all your shit and get the fuck out of here. Ooh.
Now watch me whip. Oh, it's not like my ancestors used to do it.
Yeah, nay. You're not doing that. You're not whipping. No.
Okay. All right.
No, that's
All right.
not happening.
Just the irony that dawned on me in a second there.
That's funny.
But yeah, so
keep on going.
it's a form of race play, and I have friends who work in that industry, and they get requests like that from black men all the time, where they want to be talked down to like that, and it turns them on. And this struck me as the same thing, because if you listen to what she says,
Daddy.
S my D and call me N-word.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm paraphrasing properly. And it struck me as that kind of weird stuff. She looked like a woman in heat. It was really weird to watch. I feel like there's certain things that just have to be kept in the private life.
Yeah. No,
You know what I mean? To me, it's like dark humor. Okay? Oftentimes, that's just best done in a comedy club in front of a live audience who knows what the context of the jokes are. When you're doing dark humor online with no context and people hear that stuff about you wanting to drown me, it's hard for a lot of
Or
people.
if you want to write it down and put it in a newspaper, then there's no context.
Right, exactly. So this is what that struck me as. I'm not a fan of hers. I don't like what she does. I can't stand her music. I can't stand her persona. That being said, when I watch this stuff, that's what it looks like. It looks like a junkie. And I know that she loves that kind of submissive being talked down to.
The f***iest thing about me, you don't want to ask me. I'm canceled. That's all I'm saying. My ass is
Now I
canceled.
need to know.
You knew this shit was coming. You knew this shit was coming. Here we go.
Good job.
The f***iest thing, I like to be stepped on.
Stepped on?
I like to be stepped on.
Is it a foot thing?
It's not a foot thing.
Is it a shoe thing?
It's like a power thing.
Right? That's that submissive. That was what that was.
So I'm not surprised about that. But the thing that happened is that there's a lot of things that are adding on to that, right? There's this thing. There's that interview. There is when she talks about, well, she's happy that she's a white girl with, that she's a light skin, not a dark skin, that has a booty.
Yeah.
It's the agglomeration of all of that.
Yeah.
You know, it's all that put together. It's not just one thing. So it's just little things. You know, whenever you meet someone and you talk to them, and they offer, you go on a blind date, you meet someone. I'm gonna say blind date.
Hold on. You said agglomeration, my nigga, and you invented that word, and I know what you was trying to say, but that's just funny.
It's not a word?
No, it should be though.
It should be.
Yeah. Agglomeration.
I think everybody should profitate of that word.
You know, profitate is now on Urban Dictionary.
I know, nigga. I know what the I do.
Okay,
It's my motherfucking game.
I ain't mad at it. But yeah,
Agglomeration.
so you're saying it's basically the accumulation of all these different elements.
Yes, it's all of that. It's this thing, that thing, all of that thing put together.
There's no doubt that she probably has a lot of issues with her identity and with her race.
And I understand that.
And most mixed people have that problem. Does it give them a pass? Not necessarily, no. Right? Some of the stuff that she said in the past, listen, hold her accountable if you guys want. I ain't mad at that. That being said, when it comes to this specific clip, I just wanted to give you guys that context and make you understand what it was that you're looking at.
She has a song about didn't do nothing. That's what the song is. Didn't do nothing. Basically, what it is just a slur that supremacists use to make fun of whenever a black person gets shot. All the family's like, the family's like, well, he didn't do nothing. Why did you? That's a way that they use. That's a word that they use to make fun of them people. And didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? And she made a whole song about it. She has some issues with the whole who she is is she black, is she white, since she's mixed, she's a POC, right, a person of color. I don't really like that term. Know who you are, right? People trying to be too safe. People try to be too safe and be like, you know what, I'm a person of color, not to offend nobody, because we can't say this, we can't say that, whatever. So there's a bunch of things like that. I'm uncertain about this person. I saw that and I was like, well, it's weird, but she's been weird. She hasn't done anything that surprises me, and I'm like, oh shit, would she do this? If I was Jay-Z, I'd be like, oh, that's a bit off. But that, to me, it's like, yeah, it goes with that behavior. The little that I know about that persona, whatever, is that it's super weird. Super weird. Remember when Marilyn Manson came out?
No.
Oh, yeah, you're that young. Wow. God, I'm old. Marilyn Manson came out, and there's a bunch of things that they were talking about what he was doing in the shows and in video clips and stuff like that. A lot of it was not true. Some of it was true, but I was not surprised. That's the whole persona of the thing. That's what it was. So I'm in no way, shape, or form surprised about what happened with that.
It's a whole Instagram live where she talks about her supreme interest in older white men. Now, look, some people love to believe that a lot of these racial preferences that people have are just born in a vacuum. No,
they're not.
Okay, a lot of this stuff is born from your own prejudices, your own biases that are built over time.
Your lived experience.
100%. There's a reason why in some places they have yellow fever and other places they don't. The way we perceive media, our own experiences, affects our interests. Right?
Definitely.
And I'm going to cover this in a separate video, but I can't stand when people are like, I like what I like. No, why do you like what you like? Some of it is informed. It's not you're just born this way. Because if it was, we would have consistency over time. But the reality is, beauty standards have changed. We like fat asses now. We didn't like them 25 years ago.
Nope,
right?
we didn't.
That's media affecting our perception of what we like. In that same token, there's something affecting her perception where she has this kind of idea. Now, am I going to shame her for her kink? No, I'm not. I think that's to be something that she should keep behind closed doors. Keep it in your bedroom. Obviously, don't be a fucking goofball, right? Don't be a goober who posts it on Tiny Chat. What are you doing? She's stupid, but she's young and she's got a lot of money. I'm not expecting a young, rich, dumb person to make smart decisions.
Thank God I got this money now and not when I was 19.
Hell yeah,
brother.
Hell yeah.
You already know it would have.
I'd be hyper problematic.
Yo, it'd be a problem.
Yeah,
it'd be a problem.
Yeah. So listen, as much as I want to hate on Doja because I dislike her, this is like my take on it.
But I ain't not surprised.
Yeah, but even beyond being not surprised, is it good or bad behavior? That's what we're talking about. You being surprised is one thing.
That's one thing, yeah.
Right? Like, is this good or bad? And the reality is, this lives in a gray area. And in this time where we're doing all this acceptance of all this weird stuff, this is one of those things. We just happen to have a glimpse into it, and it's really weird. But there's no doubt that she has other problems when it comes to her identity, and I will give you guys that. But I wanted to just fill you guys in on that kind of kink world.
Because like I said before when the cameras was off, it's not because you have a kink in the bedroom that it defines your morals. Right? It's not because you like to be dominated in the bedroom, because in the bedroom you're going to have some control over that.
Yeah.
So it's not the real thing. It's not the real thing. If a woman wants you to choke her, it doesn't make her, it makes you think, you know, but it doesn't mean.
My suspicion of how she's going to handle this is she's going to explain that this is something that she likes doing, but that she recognized it was wrong, and she's going to apologize, but she's going to explain it away as if it was, you know, a kink.
A kink, and then like in a couple of years, in like 10, 20 years, she's going to be part of a documentary, Surviving Doja Cat. She's going to do some shit. I'm just kidding.
But you know, that's a great parallel to bring, because like people are like, she's canceled, bruv. If y'all didn't cancel R. Kelly for 25 years, y'all not gonna cancel her, okay?
I see girls at concerts.
Yeah.
Pee on me.
Yeah, listen.
Come on.
People are going to keep buying those records and keep listening.
Come on.
Right? So that's the reality of the world we live in. I'm not saying I like it. I'm just telling y'all what it is. So, anyways, we want to hear your thoughts. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, that's it.
I don't see nothing wrong.